This is a limited handle worth 1,199 yuan. Let's not talk about performance. Anyway, there is no rival in terms of price. However, this controller only supports Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC platforms. What do you want to say at this time? Today let's take a look at this Razer Phantom Wolf V2 Phantom Edition. Look at where it got so much courage to set this price. First of all, Phantom Wolf Warrior VR is officially through Microsoft, authorized and claimed to support Xbox. However, there is a substantial difference between vertical handles without official authorization. However, here we only analyze from the functional aspect. In terms of appearance, the Phantom Wolf Warrior VR Phantom Edition, although it is said to be a wired handle, the data cable adopts a detachable design. Easy to store, the current length of 3 meters is completely satisfactory for normal console games. The handle shell is matte and is also equipped with RGB light strips. The overall shape is relatively rounded. 4 expansion buttons have been added to the back. In addition, there are 2 expandables on the inside of the shoulder. Pull directly to the full handle. The bottom end is equipped with a 3.5mm headphone jack. The audio configuration key is also thoughtfully set on the panel. If the player has voice needs, it is still very convenient. The traditional appearance of the program is not evaluated. Conceal the score for 10 minutes. Dear students, please put your appearance score on the public screen. In terms of feel, although it is not equipped with a battery, but the overall weight still reached about 280 grams. It's almost like a series handle equipped with 2 No. 5 batteries. It seems that Progress should also add the handle of the counterweight appropriately. The curvature of the grip is ergonomically designed. Fits well. Anti-slip overlay is added to the grip to further enhance the grip. To sum up, the overall grip is solid. Next, let's take a look at the case. This time, the Razer Phantom Wolf Warrior will adopt a conductive and micromotion scheme. Prior to that, this scheme is used by 3DS buttons and Ashura 3. I have previously said in my video, the biggest problem with the micro button is that the pressure is high. It's been a long time. It is easy to cause hand fatigue. But this handle has been used for a long time. There was no fatigue, so I used another handle of the same solution. Beitong Ashura 3 was compared and found that the trigger force of this handle was found even smaller than Razer. After I studied it carefully, I finally found the problem. Whether it is 3DS or Beitong Ashura 3, the completion of the micro button is very short. If you are used to using conductive focal, when you first replace the micro movement, such a question arises. After pressing a button, even if the button has arrived at the bottom, you will still habitually continue to press the button down. So over time, it will cause fatigue in the first part. The Phantom Wolf Warrior uses technology similar to that of a Razer gaming mouse. Mechanically tactile action keys and arrow keys for a softer touch. Each button can withstand up to about 3 million times of use. Click almost the same as the traditional conductive glue. For the players, it doesn't take time to get used to at all. Can be said that the micro movement button of this handle is what I am currently in. The most comfortable micro movement I have ever used on the handle. The cross and sharp keys also use the micromotion scheme. However, the sharp key suggests that the slight fluctuations can be improved in the future. There will be some resonant murmurs. The 2 expansion buttons on the shoulders are very comfortable during use. This is also a very reasonable expansion key plan that I personally feel. The 4 shoulders on the back are more centered, so there is no risk of accidental touch. But the comfort is correspondingly weaker. There have been statistics in the previous video. It was found that the distribution of 4-finger and 6-finger players was about 7 or 3. The background of this handle. It's good for 4-finger players and can be easily operated. For 6-finger players, it is a little difficult to use. There are relatively high requirements for finger flexibility. Exercise regularly at night. Students with fingers should adapt more easily. The joystick is also modularly designed. Phantom Wolf Warrior VR offers 3 joysticks with different heights and different feels. The hat replacement method is magnetic design with the Spox Elite controller Yongjun. It is convenient for players to play different games and change them at will. This matter is playful, and what needs to be awakened is accuracy. I was killed by a shot. I was too lazy. I was shot in the head a long time ago. The trigger of the handle is also adjustable when built. The player can adjust it via the trigger lock on the back. However, there are only 2 gears. Linear trigger and quick trigger are compatible respectively. Cater to different games. Can be said that, in terms of customization, this controller performs well. But unfortunately, there was no trigger vibration. Next, let's take a look at Razer's tuning at the software level. It is more convenient for players to download the official Razer app through the Microsoft Store. Once the handle is connected, it automatically detects whether the controller needs to update the firmware. You can learn this function from domestic handle manufacturers. Many handles can't even find where to update. In the app, players can also customize the mapping buttons, according to their own needs, map the expansion key to other key bits. In addition to this, dead zone and sensitivity of the joystick, motor, vibration levels as well as RGB lighting are available in the software. Here we need to popularize the problem of controller vibration with some novice players. When testing the handle motor, we can find that the vibration of the left and right motors of the handle is not the same. For private messages from classmates, I think there is a problem with my handle. Students who have read my previous handle evaluation will definitely find that after the handle is disassembled, the size of the left and right motor pendulum inside the handle is not the same. This kind of asymmetric vibration is actually much better than symmetrical vibration. So it's normal for there to be differences. In terms of tuning the joystick, Razer's default setting is that there is a center point dead. It can clearly perceive the adsorption of the central point. Playing action games is no problem. But if you change it to an FPS game, the impact is greater. At this time, players can set death to level 1 in the app. At this point, the dead zone at the center point can be completely eliminated. Many handles will add a dead zone at the center point by default when they leave the factory. Students need to pay attention to this issue when buying a handle. Razer's dead zone tuning of this handle. It also uses the same solution as Xbox. There is no dead zone between the cross area and the center point, which is very smooth. But the polishing of the outer ring can still go further. Although it is still slightly better than the Xbox controller. Finally, there is the disassembly link. However, this handle is a bit special. I tossed and turned. I searched for a long time. I didn't find a screw hole on this handle. The cover of the grip tree is completely sealed with glue, which is not allowed to be removed. Of course, we can use some special means, but forget it. After all, this is 1,200 yuan. I'm really a little unwilling to tear it down. In general, this Razer Phantom Wolf Warrior VR replacement version, whether it is the processing of workmanship materials or software, it is very good. The customization function of the handle also adds a lot of color to it. For an Xbox officially authorized and certified PC, it is seamlessly compatible. The wired handle experience is still very good. Just the price of 1,199 yuan. For many entry-level players, still too high. A real suitable person. It should be those Xbox players who want to experience micro buttons. Compared with the Xbox Elite controller, the super comfortable micro buttons are its biggest selling point. In addition, it also has trigger ship range adjustment. Expand customization functions such as key positions and joystick cap replacement. In a handle authorized by a third party, Phantom Wolf VR Fantasy Edition is a controller with strong customization attributes. Of course, there is no need for custom features. But for players interested in the Razer controller too, you can learn about the Phantom Wolf VR Flying Fantasy version. There aren't that many customization features, but the price is also much cheaper. In the end, how to choose depends on the needs of the students themselves. Thank you.